it's time to kick back. And what more important way to kick back but in the VIP lounge? Hey, y'all. Hey, it's your girl Kiki. And tonight's aromatherapy, y'all. It smells good. It is vanilla. Let me tell y'all about vanilla. Vanilla oil helps to boost your mood and has a calming effect on the brain.
It
It
does.
also helps with stress, insomnia, and irritability. Okay, so y'all smell the fragrance in the VIP lounge. Come on now. We are in the building. We are live on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook at Damn Shame Podcast. Be sure to hit that follow button, that like button, that subscribe button. We are here every other Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central. Listen, without further ado, let me introduce this fine specimen of a black male, a king
Humble.
who walks the earth.
Humble.
Listen, Mr.
Humble.
Thomas H. Grant. He is a proud father, a preacher, a motivational speaker who hails from Houston, Texas. Thomas H. Grant is a self proclaimed love coach who is very well versed in motivating his followers to go after their dreams, crush their goals, and find healthy love relationships.
Absolutely.
Thomas prides himself on using his voice to advance God's kingdom. Welcome so
Absolutely.
much, Thomas.
It is a
Welcome.
pleasure. It is a pleasure, sweetheart.
Listen,
Very
should
glad
I
to be
call you
here.
Thomas or Tommy from Power? What vibes are you giving?
Hey, look, sincerely speaking, whichever's fine, you know? It's all good.
Okay,
Whichever's
okay. I
fine.
love it. I
Whichever's
love
fine.
it. I love it. So listen, this is like I said, our first episode back from
Hmm.
the summer break, right? And what's cool
Absolutely.
about this is that Damn Shame Podcast, listen, not only are we here to give you all very good shows week after week, episode after episode, but we also play together too. We work together, we play together. So this
Absolutely.
summer was really epic. And I'm going to just give you a brief recap of what I did. And y'all get in them comments. I see y'all in there joining. Hey, let me know where you tapping in from and how your summer break was. But mine was an epic summer. I mean, I went to so many festivals, concerts, vacations, etc. It was just a whole vibe. But what's cool is like my family is so dope, right? We celebrated our 112th annual family reunion. 112th.
Wow.
And I've been going since the girl been on earth. Okay. Mama ain't
Wow.
play that. And this time it was in LA. I've been to Vegas, I've been to Arizona, I've been to California, I think it was Sacramento. I've never been to LA. Y'all, it was a whole vibe. I'm telling you. LA was listen, the girl worked it, okay? Y'all got to go back and look at my reels and everything. They say go to these key places. I looked up all the key places. The girl went to the Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, went to see where they filmed Fridays, Insecure. We went
Nice.
up to the Hollywood sign up in the mountains in the park. I said, listen, the girl is used to being on level ground, okay? Get me down from it. While it was so beautiful, listen, the girl know about this. I was all down on Rodeo Drive and the Hollywood stars. I said, I'm not leaving until I find Michael Jackson's star. So it was just a whole movement. But our family, was even featured on TV out there on ABC TV. And
That's
it's so
awesome.
dope because, again, we are 112 years in, and next year is in Maryland. It'll be 113. So we're looking forward to that. But aside
Wow.
from that, all the
Wow.
family time and all the your girl, listen, they celebrating 50 years of hip hop. So me, nightlife, producer lady, we went to see LL Cool J and Queen Latifah at that
Wow.
concert. It was amazing. Of course, I had to go over to DC and see Miss Beyonce at the Renaissance World Tour. Okay, and little Miss Blue Ivy, little Miss Stiff Blue Ivy. Did I say that? I'm sorry. Listen, little Miss Blue Ivy, she did a thing. She was not stiff. The girl was good, and I enjoyed it. Yes, I did that, and I started a support group. If you remember, the last episode before the summer break was about good grief. And so I shared with y'all that I was starting this whole grief journey and just trying to turn my pain into purpose and all of that. So I started a good grief support group. And we meet every other Monday. The Monday's opposite of this. And it is so dope, so refreshing. I get all sorts of therapists and people to come in. Hopefully, a preacher will come in and give us some insight about grief and all of that.
Yes.
So I listen. Not only did I start the support group, but your girl got a call. Now I be thinking people scamming and stuff, right? Like,
Me
what is
too.
this? You
Me
thought
too.
I
I'm
scammed
cautious.
you?
I'm cautious. Yeah, because I was like, wait a minute, is it? Yeah.
So I did the same thing. So while I'm talking to the person, I'm
Yeah.
like, you want me to be on your show, and who are you, and what?
Yeah.
That landed me a gig doing talk radio, y'all. Your girl is
Wow.
on talk
Raise the glass. Come
radio.
on,
Isn't that?
Kiki.
Do
Raise
I
the
sound
glass.
smart? I'm
Yeah.
telling you, he said that he had seen the podcast and that led to one other thing and another thing. Your girl is doing talk radio on WOL DC 1450
Sounds
AM
good.
radio. And on
Sounds good.
8 p.m. Saturday nights, every Saturday night, that's where I am. And I'm just so humbled that they allow me to come on that platform, on that panel discussion, and just weigh in. I'm just like, God, okay, the sky is the limit. So I know if he's doing it for
Absolutely.
me, he's doing it for y'all. Again, I hope y'all had an amazing summer. Listen, we have so much to unpack, so we're about to get right into it. If y'all haven't done so in the VIP lounge, be sure to order your cocktail, your mocktail, because it's about to go down. Listen, it is
Yes, it
cupping
is.
season. Y'all saw the promo, okay? So again, we have
Yeah.
so much to unpack. Now that the summer is coming to an end, it is time to snuggle up and spend quality time with that special person that warms your heart and makes you feel like falling in love. Some people have hidden agendas and are out to play games. Some may experience when they do find someone special that they get scared and self-sabotage a good thing.
Hmm.
Oftentimes people may simply feel that they are not worthy enough to have a good person of character. If you
Yeah.
are like me, I have to be honest. Must admit that I have felt a little of these scenarios at some point of my life.
Yeah.
But tonight we have just the right person, Thomas H. Grant of Motivation U, to share some
Oh.
insight. So let me get right into it. I'm telling you. What was your motivating factor that, inspired you to start Motivation U?
Heartbreak. Heartbreak. Straight up. I'm look. You know what? Here's what I tell people. Whether I want to say whether I'm in the pulpit or not. The greatest experiences and the greatest plug to you helping others is you going through something traumatic.
Absolutely.
And then like you getting your heart broke. Literally at the time I'm thinking like, yo, this, because we had been married for like 5.5 years, and if I tell you that was the first young lady that I was literally in love with, she caught that oomph in my heart, baby. I fell harder than a ton of bricks or a '64 Chevrolet Impala doing switches. Yo, I was done for. And the cares of life concerning the pandemic, and then me being ambitious, trying to be like this man. No, not trying to be, but basically being the man that God has called me to be. Look, for starters, there's a lot of people that does not want to answer the call with you. Some
Hmm.
people say, well, you know what, he's a preacher and like that's his thing. But once you become married, your spouse walks in that thing with you, and with respect, to her, it was just like a bit too much for her. So,
Mm.
so, uh, so, so yes, I tried to, what, yo, I'm like, it's good simply because, and this is why this next series is going to be important for the church. I tried to save face because I did not want no one from, the church world saying, okay, you preaching, but you can't keep your marriage together. Because
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes they look at the leader as a perfect, straight, no whatever. And then when
Yeah.
something happens, they tend not to listen to the message from the man. But here's what I
Yeah.
tell people, yes, the man is a messenger, but at the end of the day, he's still a man. So heartbreak just opened up this door to really teach me and to really show me that, hey, you have a voice, that can help and that encourage people. I tell people, your life is not for you. It's to help and encourage and inspire somebody else.
Absolutely, absolutely. Listen, we got a lot of people joining in the chats, joining in our VIP lounge. So, Nightlife, do you want to tell us who we have in the VIP lounge tonight over in the Instagram world?
Of course, tonight we want to welcome Miss Pugh, Kia Sexy, TA80, Caramel Knights, JC DeWitt, TF Hinla, Kia T35, Good Luck Charlie, and Sydney Selby 56.
Hey, welcome y'all, welcome y'all. And I know we have some people on Facebook. We will get into them a little later. But listen, we always talked about you being married previously. So I get that,
Mhm.
right? But what
Mhm.
was the quality of or health of your relationships prior to you starting this? I mean, would you say I know that your wife stole your ex-wife stole your heart and all of that,
Yeah,
but let's go
yeah.
back before her. What was the quality of your relationships? Was you just out there wilding out, or how was it?
No, I had always been a hopeless romantic.
Mm,
That element came with just who I was, and you know, basically, I knew that God had something greater for me. So I knew that I couldn't just be out here, sowing my wild oats, running around. However, I must say this that life has been quite interesting for a young black man as myself. I've had my fair share of the relationship sector, but for the relationships that I've been in, I've always tried to to lack of a better word, make sure that the relationship was going somewhere, basically in the direction to where God has called me to go in my life. Because like I started preaching when I was 16,
oh wow!
and I grew up in church, singing in church. One of the first things that I did in church,
So you a PK?
uh, I'm a PK.
Okay,
Pray for your boy.
them
Yeah.
PKs be off
And
the
so,
hook now.
yeah, but God brought me back. You know what I'm saying? God brought
Okay,
me back. but to some extent, the rep is true. Especially when you're looking good, you're smelling good, and you're very ambitious, and it's like God, is just like blessing your life. You don't always do what God would want you to do, just keeping it a buck. But one day, I met my how can I put it? I met, like my then wife, and man, she stole my heart straight up. It was that
nice,
one right there. So yeah,
nice.
so yeah.
So the
Mhm.
downturn was that she couldn't handle the whole going into ministry and being a full minister and all that. She didn't want to be first lady.
Yeah.
Can y'all imagine Kiki as a first lady? Get in them comments.
Yeah. Yo, you know what? You know what? Sometimes what happens is this, and so many preachers, we're guilty of it. We're so ambitious to reach the goal until we forget about home, and you
Mm,
can't do that. You
yeah,
have to build, protect, you have to love home.
yeah,
And the downfall with who I was as a minister, as someone who was very ambitious, time was robbed from the marriage trying to be ambitious to reach a goal. Here's what I tell, and here's what I would tell every young preacher. If you have a significant other that's and you feel like that it might be leading to marriage, or what, if you're married, protect your home. Let me tell you something. Love that woman. Look, treat her good. look, how can I put it? Love her and feed her to where she goes out in public. Your kisses will be all over her to where she feels something. She'll be like, Lord Jesus, it's okay to laugh, because like y'all are married. But you cannot neglect home. And that was a downfall of mine to where I was so ambitious to reach the goal until there was some moments to where who I was not present. And that was a
Mm-hmm.
downfall on my part. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 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 So would you say that
Just keeping it real. Yeah.
that experience made you want to, get your life together and motivate others to do
Yeah.
better
Hmm.
and make better decisions as it pertains to relationships
Yeah.
as a
Yeah.
whole?
See, because like what happens is, Kiki, is that we're taught so much in the black church, but you know what's really shocking in the black church?
What?
We were not taught how to date, how to get engaged, how to stay married.
Mm-hmm.
There were some topics that the church shied away from, and what
Mm-hmm.
happened was you had these young folk going out getting married, and these marriages wasn't working because we were so ambitious. Work for God, work for God, work for God. And you're like, yo, wait a minute. But then you would work for God so much until you're
Yeah.
working for God disintegrated your marriage or like your relationships.
Yeah.
And that's why at one point and in certain seasons, divorce rates are higher in the church than it is outside.
Mm. Okay. Listen,
Just keep it in the
so
buck.
in order to be a healthy you have to be a healthy me, right?
Yes.
So what did you work on? Like, give us some tangible things that you worked on, just to be better in any relationship. Let's set aside the marriage. In any relationship, what should people do in order to be healthy in their relationships?
The f- the first thing is you have to heal from your past traumas. You have to. There's too many people that are still broken, but they want to be in a relationship. Let's just keep it a buck. Some of these people out here, they just need to understand that, yo, just keep it on a friendship basis. That's it. Yo, just let it be you and that person kicking it, getting to know one another. But the grown woman or the grown man thing to do is to make sure that there is no previous damage from your past that's going to mess up your present. Because a lot of times God will send greatness to you and he will see, can your character of what you prayed for, can it measure up to what he's sending you? And a lot of
Hmm.
times people are still broken. And
Yeah.
so, they're walking into it with the emotions or with the infatuation, but no true knowledge to understand who they are. So that'll be the first thing. Heal from your past. Know who you are. Because if you know who you are, you'll be like, man, hold on. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. Yo, I ain't ready. Well, no, you seem ready. No, I seem ready. But look, yo, just be my friend. Yo, let's kick it. Let's see where things go. Yes, I like you, but it's not fair for me to put you in something and I know I'm not all the way healed yet. That's the
All right.
grown up,
Yes.
amicable
So
thing to do.
yeah, but you're dating knowing that you're not already healed. And I think that's where people really get things twisted because you're
Yeah.
still out there dating, kind of leading the person on and giving them false hope that something can, be of this relationship. Something can come out of this.
Yeah, but Kiki, here's my thing. There's nothing wrong with dating as long as you set the precedent. Look, you like me, I like you cute, I'm handsome, yada, yada, yada. But look, here's the only thing that I can give you right now because I'm still broken. I need to heal me. Now, look, if that person is willing to be patient with your self healing journey and they was like, yo, I can rock with you because I see something good in you and like they want to stick around, okay. But if not, it's all good. That's where I would keep it at. But some people, they get too far deep and it's like,
Yeah.
uh-oh. And that's when you start messing up people's emotions and lives and stuff. Yeah.
So listen, VIPs, y'all be sure to hit the live button. I mean, hit the share like button and listen, get in those comments just about how you feel like you're ready to date again, and how do you get past the trauma? Tell us about that in the comments. We really would like to hear from you. But here's one thing that you talked about on your IG page, your motivation. You follow them. If y'all haven't hit that follow button, IG, make sure that you follow both of us. um but you say on there, you talk about a valued black man. How can a
Absolutely.
man
Facts.
increase their value as it pertains to a relationship? And on the contrary, how does a woman increase their value? What does that mean, a valued man or woman?
A valued man or woman. So Kiki, I'm so glad you asked me this. Look, it's so for starters, we're gonna just talk about the race of us, our men and women of color. We have to re-implement the standard of black excellence because there's certain facets that we see on like social media. They're trying to force feed these certain people who try to represent us as a community. And I'm like, no, 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 that does not represent us as a whole. So the first thing I would say is we need to re-implement the spirit of black excellence. As in terms of a man, you need these three elements. Here's what I say. You got to get your money up. Yo, you please do it the legal way. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'm not telling you, but look, you need capital. There is not a man out there that would say otherwise to where his confidence is not is how can I put it? Basically, is not boosted when he got his coins right. He's working on his credit, or either his credit is together. Why? Because that's opportunity, that's power. Look, you can make boss moves when you got your chips right, when you got your credit right. So look, I would say work on that. And in some of like my previous videos, here's what I've even told like a few guys. Until you have that together, don't get serious with nobody. Yo, if you want to date, date. But be like, yo, mom, I'm gonna be real with you. Yo, this is about me right now. This is about getting to where I need to be. Because a lot of times, and I hope I don't piss nobody off when I say this, we got these guys who are struggling in that area of building their capital, building their credit, building their finances, and they want a sister to like help them out or whatever. No, no, we have to be black men of excellence in the same breath to where we want the woman to be submissive to us, but we ain't got no money.
Yeah, they say, let me hold something. Can I hold a little something?
Yeah, yeah. No, 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 no. Look here,
And
fellas.
that's what
If you
they
want a
say.
woman to respect you, okay, don't be having her send you no Uber. All right. Don't be asking her to take care of you. Yo,
Yeah,
walk into it as a valued man of integrity to say, look, babe, I may not be rich, but I got my own. I got
yeah.
my own car. I got my own money. I got my own credit. Because here's the deal. There's too many of us young black guys who don't have our stuff together, but we want her, or should I say, but we want a valued woman to submit to us. I don't want you to submit to
Absolutely.
me. What? No. Get your stuff together first, as in terms of like a valued man. Number two, a valued black man has to know who he is, not just as a man, but as a person.
Mhm.
The man has to be in touch with God, number one, himself, his emotions, and who he is, basically all the way around. Because if a black man knows who he is and he is in tune with who he is, then he can love that woman the way that she's never been loved before. And she'll show up be saying, God, I love you. God, thank you for this black man. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm, mhm. Number three. What's three?
Number three. Number three. Here's big. Uh, there's too many black men that have not been healed from generational curses and things that have happened f- uh, to them in their childhood, and it has shaped them to who they are as being men. There's a lot of black men that are not affectionate because they did not come from that warm, loving, safe home to where it's like, hey, you know what? It's okay. So that would be the biggest thing.
Mhm.
Search yourself, search your heart, search your soul, see if there's some things that you need to heal from. I tell black men, it does not make you less of a man to go talk to somebody.
Mhm.
Because when you go talk to somebody, you'll uncover those past and like those previous hurts to where you can deal with it heal from it, and you can grow as a man. And when you do that, the sky's the limit. You're a dangerous black man. I'm trying to tell you.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Absolutely. Producer lady, who do we have over there in Facebook and YouTube?
We have Tanya, and she's saying being honest is the key. Just some of the stuff that you guys were talking about earlier, that the person needs to accept who they are. We have Muriel in the chat, and she's just saying the same thing. It's the most important thing is to heal first. Your new relationship will not work until you heal.
It won't.
Ethel's been in the comments just saying, one, Kiki, she love you, look beautiful. She's loving your show. And she was saying that she needs to send this to some of her girlfriends. They need to learn from our special guest tonight. So this is a lot of chat going back and forth saying, speak, black man, speak.
That's it. I see a comment over in IG. Keith's Greatness says childhood trauma can prevent you from having a successful relationship,
It can.
especially if you are not healed. That's so
That's
true.
true. That's
So,
true. You
so
know what,
true.
Kiki?
Uh-huh.
So you know what? Yes, I am a foster kid. I went through 5 foster homes before I finally found the parent that revolutionized my life. Uh, Sincerely speaking, my dad, his name is Dr. Randall Wade Murphy. He's a psychology professor at the University of Houston Central Campus here in Houston, and he's a preacher. And look, he, as a black man, he helped mold me to who I am now. And
That's so
so,
dope.
but he said straight up, he said, "Look, you're coming with me. You're my son." I'm sorry, Keith.
That's so dope.
He
That's
said
so dope.
because he said um he said because I see greatness in you, and he said you will not be a statistic. You will be the best black man that you can be. He said, "Look, you will have some challenges to deal with from your past, but he said I
Absolutely.
got you." And so now it's like when he looks at me and everything, and he be up preaching, or I preach, he has like this smile on his face, like, yo, that's mine right there. Yo, I
Very true.
raised that. So black fathers, if you can be there for your kids, because the foundation of a black man can revolutionize the makeup of who he becomes, both past, present, and future. So yeah.
That is so
Sorry for getting
good.
choked up, Kiki. My bad.
That is so good. No, listen,
Yeah,
we told you in the production meeting,
yeah,
we cry,
yeah,
we pray, we cuss, we get mad,
yeah.
we laugh, we do it all here. That is the spirit
Ah,
of authenticity that this platform of Damn Shame Podcast, because some things really do be a damn shame that we have to experience. It's a
yeah.
damn shame you
Facts.
have to go to 5
Facts.
foster homes and then come
Yeah.
out to get that one God ordained for you to
Yes.
have that really
Right
got you
there.
to this
That
place
part.
here today.
That
So
part.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's the
Yeah.
shaping. I
Yeah.
mean, he does everything in his divine order. Me in the
He
middle of the
does.
night scrolling through Facebook
Yeah.
and through
Yeah.
Instagram, and then I see Motivation
Yeah.
You, and I'm like, well, what is this
Yeah.
man talking about? And I said, oh, he putting out content every day.
Yeah.
Oh, he's saying some
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, we coming back from the summer. Let's heal together. Yeah, we in
Yeah.
the VIP lounge. We have our cocktails and our mocktails, but all of us can heal from
Yeah.
something and stand to,
Absolutely, my dear sister.
glean
Yeah.
something out of all these experiences. I absolutely love it. So let's talk
Yeah.
more about relationships. You said
Yeah.
being with someone is not complicated, but you
No.
can't allow outside forces to distract you. Let's talk about that a little
Yeah.
more.
There's too many young men and women that allow social media to make them feel somehow emboldened that they do not have to focus on their own relationship. This is going to sound harsh, but you all are hearing it not from a black man, but look, also a preacher. Too much convenience will ruin your relationship, it'll ruin your marriage.
Hmm?
Stop letting the outside forces of social media tell you how cute you look, tell you how handsome you are, tell you, look, you this and you that. No, here's what I had to say to myself. How in the world did all of these black men and women get married at such a young age and they stayed together for 40 and 50 years? You know why? They had the element of these 3 things: God first, Okay, God first. They put God first. Number two, they had a made up mind that, look, we are going to do this. This is you and this is me. And if anybody tries to mess this up, they're going to have hell on their hands. Why? Because God first has joined us together. So the scripture says, let no man put us under. And then, watch this. The second thing is this, is that,
The
is
third.
that, yeah, I'm sorry. The third thing is this, is that the outside forces bring about a spirit of deception, and it has you to feed into that current present. Okay, here's what I'm searching for. And you know what? I got to get it. It starts with a small inkling of a spark, and then it turns into a thought, and a thought turns into a contemplation, and the contemplation turns into, okay, well, let me see. And let me see turns into this door being open of you entertaining crap that does not feed or serve your relationship growth or purpose. And before you know it, that one spark of curiosity or deception disintegrates something that God has really sent you. And here's
Mhm.
what's, and Kiki, here's what's really
Let,
sad. I'm sorry.
let me interject a little bit because you said three things: God, and you
Hmm.
said not letting the outside forces come in,
Us. Yes.
and if
Hmm.
there's a us, right? Because the us, we
Hmm.
have made
Yes.
this pact that we are going to keep God first, right? And
Yeah.
the third thing
Yeah.
is not
Hmm.
that. But let's be very clear. I think that relationships had from back in the day have had those longevity, that where you see the 20, 30, 50, 40, older than
Yeah.
us, right?
Yeah.
Because there
Hmm.
was no social media, there wasn't anything, all of these distractions, the internet,
This is
all
true.
these outside, those are the outside forces. But let me just say this: Papa, a lot of papas was rolling stones, okay? So there was some outside forces. But the thing about it is, and mama might have known. Mama might have known,
Yeah.
but she knew she wasn't going nowhere. She knew she was going to stick
Yeah.
beside him. And that
Hmm.
eventually he'd go out there, and it might have a baby cross town, but
Yeah.
he gonna come back and he gonna provide for home.
Yeah. Hmm.
So we
Hmm.
gotta keep it really real.
Yeah. But there are some couples that I spoke with, and I asked, and this was, I want to say, maybe like 2 weeks ago. There was one couple that I saw in the grocery store, and I said, "Hey, folks, how you all doing?" I said, "Look, can I ask y'all some questions?" And you know what? One of the first things that he said, "We've been married for 42 years." I said, "Give me some insight.
Mhm.
Have you ever cheated?" He said, "No, I've never cheated." But he said, "Look, some of you young people, you all don't realize this. The temptation will come." He said, the reason why some of you young folk fall is because you all don't prepare for the temptation. You all only plan for the good times and the, oh, we married. But he said, when trouble comes, he said, when the temptation comes, you're not expecting it and it catches you off guard and you fall.
But you gotta keep that.
That was
No
powerful.
temptation has seized you except for what is common to man. Those God is faithful. He will not let you be
Come
tempted
on, woman
beyond
of the
what you
word.
can. And he
Come
can
on.
provide a way for you to stand up under it. Hey, come on, discipleship, 3-year graduate, okay?
Yes,
Don't do
yes,
Kiki.
yes,
But that
yes.
is true.
Then this,
Temptation,
mhm,
you
yeah,
know.
yep. And then, like the second thing that he said, we did not let small things snowball into big things. If
Mhm.
it's an issue, let's nip it in the bud while it's still small.
Yeah.
Because if you don't talk about it, that's one thing that I'm learning: communication. That's what, like, my significant other, she tells me, she said, babe, we got to talk about this. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. Sometimes it's like my schedule is so crazy until, like, you move on to the next thing. And if you don't deal with it at that moment, Kiki, when you come
Mhm.
back later, that thing will be bigger than what it was like when you first dealt with it. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So listen, you also said arguing is not necessary in a relationship. If you think it is, then you're toxic. Let's define, because the producer lady and I had some questions about, well, how does he define arguing? Because we can have
Dysfunctional.
passionate discussions.
Yeah. Okay. So you know what, Kiki, I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, y'all might roll your eyes at this, sweetheart. I don't believe in arguing. I no, because the job that I have of motivating people, I cannot have my peace disrupted. However, there is a way to properly communicate and work out the disagreement. However, when it comes to yelling, cussing, going back and forth, yelling, that is dysfunctional behavior. It is not necessary to discuss in that way what has happened. Here's what I tell people, and some of you might agree, some of you may not. The moment that you feel like you got to yell at me or call me out my name, then you don't love me. You don't love me.
Mm.
Because love is so sacred and so beautiful. Your love for me should overpower your emotions to where you be like, you know what, babe? Give me a second. Yo, let's just like take a break from that. Then we'll come back and like we'll talk later. But look, we're gonna make it a point to talk about this. But yelling, cussing, all that, no, 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 no. It's
Listen,
not
one
necessary.
would argue that if I'm not yelling, if he's not yelling at me, or if he's
Hmm.
not, you know, giving me some healthy debate, if he ain't clapping back, because the girl claps back, okay, and
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
clap back depending on how at what level of angry I am at. The
yeah.
clap back might be a little subtle, or I'm here with it.
Hmm.
Uh, uh. Let me say that the black
Yeah.
woman just cause she seeps out. She seeps out, man. And I got all this word in me, but sometimes the seeps out.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so one would say, well, if he ain't saying nothing, if he ain't responding back, he don't love me.
There. Okay. So for starters, Kiki, I'm so glad you said that. Men have to understand that they set the tone for the relationship. The way that they behave, you can love a woman in such a sweet and passionate way until she can be angry, and then you'll be like, babe, look at me, calm down. All that ain't necessary. You can be seductive in your speech to have her calm down from how angry she is, especially when it's not something major. What happens is that the man he
Are you a
forgets his
Virgo?
role. Leo, baby,
A
we out
Leo.
here. Leo, yes, yes. So men basically we cannot forget our role as being the passionate leader of the relationship to say, hey, come here. Why are you so angry? Calm down. Calm down, okay? So many times, here's what I've noticed. The woman can be all upset, but the way the man responds, he can bring her down and be like, look, calm down, take a breather. I love you. Fellas, let me give you free game. Remind the woman, a good woman, how much, basically, how much you love her, how much you care about her, and how important what you all have is than what you all are, lack of a better word, getting into like a disagreement about. Men, you can set the tone and say, baby, calm down. It's okay. It's okay. And I guarantee you, let me tell you something. If she's a good, solid woman, she'll be like, okay, that don't mean nothing because like we still gonna talk about this. But the way you approach her with this calm, sensual, but you still masculine, be like, baby, calm down. Right there. Right there.
Okay. Okay.
Kiki ain't saying nothing. Hello?
Okay.
I got something in the chat that's directly related to what y'all just said. We have some in the chat saying, Alicia, who calms down from being told to calm down? You know how sometimes when you're saying calm down, that really can ignite more,
I ain't
you know.
calming down. What you mean?
You know, and then also too, I think communication. Like I see a lot of things in the chat saying
Exactly.
communication. If you're the kind of man that shuts down, that does nothing but stir up a woman. You know, so
Yes. Hmm.
there's some people in the chat saying that they agree how the man can help to settle things down, but you got to have already been a really good communicator and set that
Yeah.
tone within the relationship.
So basically for the man to shut down, that's dangerous. However, the way the man responds with his passion for the good woman. Because look, let's just be real, Kiki. There's a lot of women out here. You know what I'm saying? They God bless our lovely black sisters, but there are some, they go 0 to 10, and I don't care who you with. No, she ain't coming down off that until she gets ready. I'm like, we got to kind of tread carefully with that. However, even in that, I still believe if the man does not shut down and he takes a step, you see, men, you got to reevaluate your woman. Soon as she hits that point, you kind of look at the situation and you be like, okay, you wait your turn, you babe, and then you approach with caution. But if you go in at 100 and she's on 100, no, no, no. Man, your job as a king, as a valued man, is to basically approach the situation with calm, peace, and be an example of love and applying grace with passion. And if I tell you, if she is a good woman, she'll look at you and be like, I'm still mad at you, but I love you. You want something to eat? Because it works. The issue
It
comes
works.
is us as men, we have forgotten how to be passionate. We have forgotten how to just grab her hand and be like, come here, give me a hug.
It works.
Man, I'm hyping y'all up on free game tonight. Let me tell you something. Passion and sensuality in the midst of chaos, and you staying calm, she'll be like, what was we arguing about again?
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that'll calm stuff down.
How do
Kiki
you
saying,
cheat?
yep.
How do you cheat proof
Huh?
your relationship? How do you cheat proof your relationship?
Okay, so for starters, how to cheat proof your relationship. Number one, the producer lady, she said it. Y'all gotta have communication. Y'all, the devil, the enemy wants you to lose one of your most valuable assets besides keeping God first is to lose communication. Once you lose communication, you all start basically building brick walls on both sides. And once those walls are fortified and they are strong enough, you all no longer see who you all are in the relationship with. And after that, the
Hmm.
outside forces begin to look more tempting than what you actually have in front of you. Here's what I told fellas. If you got a good woman in this day's climate, you better hang on to her. Hey, don't
Hmm.
you build no brick wall. You love her every chance you get. Even if
Don't
you tell
fumble the
this girl,
bag.
look, don't from look, let me tell you something. Even if you got to tell her 90 times a day, man, I love you, man. You are so gorgeous. Baby, I miss you. Yo, just out of nowhere, send flowers. Be like, look, baby, I look, you know what, work ran over, but yo, I'm thinking about you. Do you need anything? You know what I'm saying? Keep that line of communication over. Um, because once you set the foundation of just like being that man, you're always attentive. And
Mhm.
especially if she's a good valued woman, she'll give you that in return too. You all will be feeding each other. You all will
Mhm.
feed the emotions and the mental state. Look, have you ever been in like a good relationship and you've had, like such a long day and you see that man or that woman that God has sent you and you give them a hug and all of a sudden things just feel better? That's because you all are feeding spiritual and emotional nutrients to each other. That's one
Nice.
way to cheat proof. If you married, uh, fellas, fellas, write your name on it. Read between the lines.
I love
Write your
it.
name on it.
I
Women,
love it. I love it.
women,
I love it. You better write your name on it, okay?
look,
So won't
look.
nobody come in and get it. Listen, I absolutely
Just
love
women, drain him dry. Drain him dry,
that.
ladies. Take care of your man. Look, don't be sending him out into the world without a healthy appetite.
Hmm.
Okay, ladies, drain him dry. Fellas, write your name on it.
So what would you say about this? A woman says that, she wrote down everything she wanted in a man and she got it in a man. And then when she got it, she broke it off. Why do you believe that people self-sabotage their relationships, their good relationships?
Because they're not happy and settled with themselves.
Hmm.
That's why. That's why. Look. If so, for starters, here's what I said. In like some of like my previous videos. You you got to stop looking for the person to complete you. That's not their job to complete you. You have to complete yourself first. And then you walk into a committed relationship that may lead to like a courtship or like a marriage. The issue is that we have people walking around who are not happy with themselves. They're not satisfied. So what they do, they search for seasonal things. And once that high is gone, then they move on to the next thing. But the thing about life is that look, when you got a real one and you fumble it, God is going to put you and that person back into the queue. And when that person
I
is
love
placed
it.
back in the queue, they're going to be spinning around, and somebody else who has been praying for them is going to be like, yo, God, yo, that's mine right there. And they're going to appreciate it. You have to be happy with yourself. Stop looking for these people to complete you. That's not their job. You look, this is going to be on this like one of you know, it's like my future series. Learn how to be single and happy first. Once
Hmm.
you learn how to be single and happy first, then you can start walking into the season of dating and trying to find, like that right one for you. But be happy first. They self-sabotage it because they're not happy themselves. They have, you know,
Absolutely.
stuff that they haven't dealt with yet. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, here's another thing. This man says it's hard to open up to a woman now after I have been cheated on multiple times. How should he handle that?
I would look. I'm gonna just be honest with you. Um, this might sound harsh when I say this, my brother. You need to just take some time to yourself. Take care of you. Heal all the way. B- because and so, oh boy, see, I did not want to go here, Kiki, but here's where we
Come
get real.
on.
I used to be a simp. I used to be a simp, the nice guy. Oh yeah, and this and that. No, see, so check this out. Yes, I'm still a hopeless romantic, but I'm not the one to try because so much. Look. I peep game real quick. Ain't nobody gonna take advantage of me. You ain't gonna run game on me, man. Look out. Let me tell you something. I am a well-rounded man who understands the universe concerning relationships. The reason why some of us guys get cheated on because we're simps. Yeah, we're yes ma'ams, and we don't have no backbone to be like, say, hold on, man, look out. You ain't gonna do that. Let me tell you
Mhm.
something. I can be distinguished. Hey, Kiki, how you doing? But yo, that other side can be like, say, Ma, we ain't doing that. Yo,
Yeah.
yo, no. So to him, I would take some time to rediscover who you are. Take care of yourself, build yourself back up, focus on your paper, your look, smell good, dress nice, start making boss moves in your life. Focus on you first. And what that will do is that will catapult your self-confidence and take you to another level to where
Mm,
you'll begin to understand this is the reason why those women cheated on me. And
mhm,
look, but see, look, I don't preach revenge because look, that's not our job. God take care of that. But the best revenge is success. The best
yes.
revenge is for the people who broke your heart to see you be like, who is that? Yeah, yo, we out here. What we doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like once you
Mhm.
hit that and your self-confidence is on 10 and they try to scroll back around and be like, hey, look out. No, I know what you about. Let me tell you something. A woman can sniff out a man who struggles with self-confidence.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. I think it goes both ways.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Just to keep it a
Why
buck.
do you think that people are okay with being side pieces?
That's because it's convenient for them. They don't have to submit, they don't have to be honest, and they don't have to deal with the true emotions of how they really feel. Oh, y'all, Lord, I'm gonna get in trouble. They're gonna take my church for saying this. Let me tell you something. Hey, let me hit y'all on game. When a person does not want to be who they really are, they settle for being a side piece. Ladies, listen to me. It is disrespectful for you to be okay with being a side piece. That's not who God has intended for you to be. When you
Mhm.
accept the application and the prerequisites of being a side piece, and look, it ain't Sunday morning, so look, I'm not going to preach. You at that moment accept somebody treating you less than the queen that God has called you to be. Y'all, I'm preaching. Please get your offering ready. No, but listen to me. Is that we sometimes side pieces become side pieces because they lack in self-confidence. They lack in
Mhm.
virtue. They lack in value. They lack the actual understanding that God has more for me than what I am accepting.
Mhm.
So they walk in that shadow of being a side piece. Let me tell you something. That's not God's will for your life. And what happens is when a side piece becomes a side piece, she only adds to her scars. She only adds to the damage that has already been there.
Mhm.
She builds another layer of hurt and anger and dysfunction. So when God sends her Prince Charming, she's too broken to receive the man of her dream. Y'all, I'm preaching to somebody.
Hey, I absolutely love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Keeps Greatness says kings are side piece too. It's not just women, men accept second best, second best too. Yes, that's true.
I
They
look,
comfortable
look,
with it.
yeah, I'm look, I'm gonna be honest. It's hard. Okay, see, here's the deal. Here's where people get their heart broke, Kiki. They walk into the role as a side piece, but then they want the person who's treating them as a side piece to respect them. What? No, yo, basically, if you accept the role as a side piece, that person
Yeah.
who is treating you in that light, they will never respect you for who you are.
Yeah.
For they will never respect you for who you are. Why? Because you entered the role and you signed the emotional contract to basically tell them I'm a side piece and I'm nothing more than a side piece. You got me wrong. No, no. So men and women, peep game. The moment you accept being a side piece, don't get all in your feelings when you catch feelings, and you basically expect for that person to treat you like something more than a side piece. No, because you accepted it.
Yeah.
Self accountability is the only way to recover and to get out of some of this mess that we're in.
I love it. I love it. So listen, how about if you've been in a long-term relationship, even a marriage, right? And your partner comes to you and says,
Hmm.
"Hey, this we need to spice things up a bit. I'm looking to bring somebody else in to our bedroom. It might be same sex or the opposite sex, but we need to spice this thing up.
No, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Kiki, tell me if you want me to get real for a second.
I want you to get real.
Bringing somebody else into something like this, it is a violation in the sanctity and the sacredness of your love for that person. Now, I know that there are certain people that say, look, it's fine. It's like bring in somebody. The moment you do that, whatever that person is dealing with, whatever spirits, whatever craziness that they have going on in their life, they're going to bring it to you and your mate. And watch and see what I tell you. So basically, in the moment, you may not see an issue with it, and things may be going okay, but watch and see what I tell you. Sooner or later, certain things will begin to happen to where it will basically begin to tear down your relationship. That's one. Two, if you wanted to get practical, what if they can do it better than you can?
Mm,
Somebody gonna steal your mate. You're gonna be like, no, wait a minute, no, no, no. You
that's
agreed
a
to
good
this.
point.
See, folk fall out when they say, why this happened? Because you agreed to it. Don't yo, so like don't get all in your feelings when you agree to something and somebody walk in and be like, yo, man, you coming with me. No, whoa, wait a minute. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Stop walking in the craziness, all right, to spare you and your relationship for real.
Oh my goodness, y'all. Get in these comments if y'all are enjoying it.
Ah.
I know that I am thoroughly enjoying this conversation with Thomas H. Grant, Motivation You. It is a whole vibe. I'm telling you. I mean,
It
you are
is.
dropping gems tonight. And I know that I'm not the only one just catching them because they coming. They coming. Listen. Nightlife. Any final thoughts from anybody on IG or producer lady? Anybody Facebook, YouTube? final thoughts before we get our last final question of
I got
tonight?
I got a good question in the chat. Thomas, they want to know, what do you think about the 80-20 rule? When you finding a mate, and should you have your list of non-negotiables? Is it okay to bend some? What is your take on this 80? As long as they have 80% of what you want, don't worry about the 20. What is your take on that?
We live in a superficial age to where we expect for people to be Superman and super Negro, and that doesn't exist. That doesn't exist. God is the God that specializes in things that are imperfect. And sometimes God will send you the greatest 80, but we miss out on a blessing because they lack the 20.
Mm. Mhm.
And then we'll get down the line, and then we'll get a person that has 50 and 50. Like, wait, like what? And then you say, Lord, yo, I wish I would have hung on, to that 80. Here's the deal. If the 20 is not hurting your life, your emotions, your present, or your future, if that 20 is not hindering from you being the man or the woman that God has called you to be, stop being so spoiled. Look, the misconception of social media is that here's how it should be. Here's how it should be. Here's how it should be. If that is the case, and if we're honest with ourselves, there is so many of us that are dealing with the lack of 20 and we're only 80. But we are some fantastic people and we make great mates.
Mhm. I
I'm done.
absolutely love it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There's one more that keeps popping in the chat. I
Okay.
gotta ask this
Yeah.
if y'all don't mind. What about a man or I guess a woman who falls in love with a woman and is in the wrong marriage but loves the other woman, but can't get out because of finances, and speak on that. So you're married, you fall in love with somebody else, and you can't get out. Like what do you I'm not sure what they want to know, but can you speak a little bit on that?
Okay. So for starters, to each and every one of you who may be listening to me, I am a gospel preacher. I have to stick with scripture because of what I do. So let me give you the spiritual aspect of it. You have to honor your marriage. You have to. If you stood before God and those witnesses to exchange vows, basically with that person, so many people fail at marriage because they only remember for better, but they try to kick the worst to the side. No, 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 no. If you have done any and everything to make the marriage work and it's not working, you have to respect and honor yourself and God and say, God, look, I've tried, it's not working out. Look, let's end this marriage so that your soul and your blessings are not in jeopardy. Period.
Mm.
We we can't let the emotions take over actual facts. And the facts are is that when you step out on your marriage, even if the marriage is bad, you hinder your own blessings, your own grace, your own miracles that God has for you. So just do it the right way. Be like, yo, look out. It's not working. It's not working. But here's the big thing that I would say. If your marriage can be saved and your mate is saying, baby, let's work on it. Please, let's fix this marriage. You are obligated by biblical law to try to work on it. Now, look, if you have a person that's constantly cheating on you, that's putting like your life in danger, you have to take the necessary steps to ensure the continuity of yourself, especially if you have kids. But that's what I would say. If you're in love with somebody else and your marriage has already disintegrated and it is falling apart, honor God, honor yourself, and respect that other person who you're in love with, and do it the humblest but the most honorable way and say, look, babe, look, I'm in a situation. Look, let me take care, of like this divorce first so that we can honestly be together because you want God's blessings on what you're falling in love with before you fall in love.
I have a question. You talked about being a single dad, a single parent, right? Of a girl,
Yeah,
your girl
yeah.
dad, right?
God help me. Yeah.
And you have a girlfriend,
Yes, ma'am.
and your daughter, I believe, was 10, is what I
Yes,
wrote.
ma'am.
coming from experience and speaking from experience, I dated a
Hmm.
single dad. And I said, I'll
Yes,
never
ma'am.
do that sugar honey iced tea ever again because that was his daughter wife. And
Yeah,
she was at the helm of our relationship. She was the one who, and I hope you're not doing this to your current girlfriend. I wish she could come on so I could be like, girl, give me the tea. But I'm telling you, with these girl dads and these single, and I probably have passed up other good dads
yeah,
because so now I get, how old are your children? I hope they my age because
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not doing it again because that
yeah,
bad experience left a sour taste because he put her at the helm of our relationship. Our relationship
yeah,
came second, and I get it, but there has to be a healthy balance. Like, we got to take care of children because rest assured, ain't nobody coming between me and my son.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
that is our relationship, mother and son relationship. But here it is, and I think as women, maybe we do a better job. I can't say that because, I don't know, but tell me, enlighten me.
Uh, One thing that I have honestly learned is that uh, with me being in a relationship and having a daughter, there has to be like an equal balance. Yes, my role as a father is important. It is. So, for starters, uh, the man has to pick the right woman. If he wants anything serious, he has to pick the right woman, to basically walk with him, with this journey because it is a journey. Let me tell you something, Kiki, some days as being a single dad, I'm like, God, you need to give me the strength because life comes. These kids, they grow fast. These girls, they grow fast. Sometimes I just grab my head like, okay, I'm like, okay, keep rolling. But one thing that you have to set boundaries to say, look, honey, daddy's in a relationship, okay? And look, we have to spend quality time, you know, together, okay? So, along with that, hey, this, that. But uh, you have to be in the headspace to date. And like when I say like date the right way, a responsible parent will know how to both be a parent and know how to have a successful relationship. And so,
Mhm.
sometimes I have to, like remind my little girl, look, honey, daddy's dating now, okay? So look, we got to do this, or look, we ain't gonna do this, okay? And and I want to say for like the most part, she's good with it. You know, my kid, she's easy to deal with. Although she is a brat from time to time, you have to just gently set that standard to say, look, this is where life is at. You're still important to me. You know daddy loves you like there's no tomorrow. But daddy is dating now. So
So
that's what I
listen,
do.
you on the show now. You like my homeboy now, So I'm gonna just
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
you from my experience, please do not create a daughter wife. Do not do it.
No, no,
Do
because
not do it. There's
because
so many
yeah,
daughter wives out here that I'm
yeah,
like, what the hell is this? So if you have a child, I'm
yeah,
like, how old is your child? Uh,
yeah, yeah.
like
Yeah, yeah, and see, you know what? That's not the role of the daughter. And you know what? I've even seen in relationships to where, men who have kids, they let their daughters dictate and run that. No, no, no. If you want to be happy, you better not do that. No, no, no. Because it's like this. Uh, 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 the moment that you do that, you're basically making it known that you are not ready for a serious committed relationship.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's tight, but it's
Mhm.
right. And look, you know what? When one of the most difficult parts about my divorce was just knowing, okay, Jesus, I gotta start dating. Well, no, I mean I don't have to, but like when I start dating, I'm gonna have to have, like this conversation, with, my daughter, about, hey, I'm gonna X, Y, and Z. But if it's done in the right way, you can do it. But us as fathers, us as black fathers, we have to let our girls know that, look, you do come first, but daddy has to have a life too. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So yeah.
Mhm. I like that. I like that. I absolutely like that. And keep reminding, because
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think I'm still, I got some trauma, some past trauma with that. But
Yeah.
it sounds
Yeah. I
like,
understand.
your response is right on the right track. So look, final question of the night. Look into the camera and speak to
Hmm.
that person who really says, all right, cuffing season is here. How
Yeah.
do I go about finding the right person for me and setting aside or healing, from my past trauma or, you talked about generational curses and all of those things. How do I move beyond that?
Mhm.
Because it's cuffing season. Talk to them, let them know, motivate them, give them that final thought.
What quality of life do you want? So many times we make excuses of why we can't have greater because the excuses help us to feel comfortable in not dealing with the season that we're not familiar with. Greatness comes of you actually making a decision and making a point to say, wait, I want better from life. So, what do I have to do to get better out of life in every single aspect? Am I willing to leave my comfort zone and stop making excuses of why, but finding solutions and reasons of why I should? You can't be great and still make excuses of why you can't get something done. No, no, no. We have to change the way we think. Sometimes when we hang around people, we automatically begin to emulate who they are. The scripture says that the scripture talks about assimilation brings about association or something like that. So if you change who you hang around, the way you think, the way you talk, the way you look at yourself, look, I have greatness. Greatness is waiting for me. Look, I just have to go there and get it. Then you will begin to walk into your purpose and your season of being great. You have to understand that nobody can do it for you except you. They can provide, like the nugget, or they can lay the foundation. But at the end of the day, make a choice to say, I want a better life. So here's what I'm going to do to get that better life. God bless.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you so much, y'all,
It's been a pleasure.
VIPs. I hope that you enjoyed Thomas H. Grant. Tell them where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram. Uh, um, that is at Thomas H. Grant. Or if you go to Facebook, that's the same name, Thomas H. Grant. Also, we have like the Motivation You page that's also set up on Facebook. You can follow me on those three platforms. God bless you. God keep you more.
Hey,
Greater series are coming. So you all, I'm excited. Come follow the journey along with me. And Kiki, thank God for my sister. God bless you. We'll talk.
thank
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, VIPs. Listen, our next show will be live October the 2nd at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, tell a friend, tell a friend. Uh, you all can find us on all podcast platforms. So wherever you get your podcast, stream your podcast from, you can find us there. You can catch the replay on Instagram, on Facebook, and YouTube. So if it's IG, come on over to Facebook and YouTube. Listen, remember that I love you and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Thank y'all so much for watching. I'll see y'all October the 2nd. Ow, ow. Hey.